It's so dark outside right now. It's getting ready to storm like crazy. I have another Diet Coke I'm about to bust open and drink. I need some caffeine. It is Sunday. It is, what time is it? It's almost 5 p.m., which is kind of late. I am just now starting my order prep, but it's okay because I don't have to go crazy and pack a bunch of stuff all at once because I changed how I restock now, and I feel a lot lighter. It feels like I don't have to stress about trying to get all these orders out on time. So I'm gonna pack my substrate orders here tonight and probably a few plant orders, and then I'll finish packing the rest of them tomorrow. I have to check weather on all the orders really quick. I'm gonna sit at the computer and pull up the forecast. I feel like it's a hot week this week, at least here. It's like mid to upper 90s a lot of the week next week, which sucks. It means if it's that hot here, it's probably gonna be hot in a lot of other places. So most of the plants I'm probably gonna have to insulate. Just keeping that in mind that, yeah, it's gonna be a hot week. Last week was nice because the weather was, I feel like in the 80s and even in the 70s in some areas. And I'm like, oh, 70 sounds like a dream. I mentioned in the last video that I'm shipping plants separately from substrates now. And I think that was over a month ago. I think I've been doing it this way for about 4 weeks. So yeah, I wanted to get some feedback and your thoughts on the restocks. And yeah, I feel like shipping substrates separately just makes packing a little bit easier for me. And shipping plants with pon and stuff was a lot, and I feel like sometimes I like to upgrade orders like shipping, and with pon, with the heavy weight, it gets to be really costly with that, with like 2-day air and stuff. But yeah, I have a lot of plant orders. Thank you guys so much. I usually have been adding plants to the site, so how I've been doing it now is randomly a day during the week, a day or two during the week. The last couple of weeks, it's just been one day that because I have to drag this table here out in front of the door. That's where I take my photos, and I have to get the lights. Those are the lights that I use, and it's just a whole process to get all that set up and take plant photos because all my packing supplies are behind this door, and if I leave that set up all week, then if I get substrate orders to send out, I can't really get in there, so then I have to move it. I really feel less stressed overall doing it this way. I will just pack orders on Sunday and Monday like I've been doing. I can take my time. I don't feel rushed or stressed trying to get through so many orders all at once, so many plants to pack, and I can get them dropped off, and then I can come back home, water in here if it needs watered. I can pull some plants. I can do some plant care. Last week, I think I added on 20 new plants, and the week before, I think it was like 15 to 20. So I think that's going to be my range moving forward, is anywhere from like 15, I would say upwards to like 25 plants a week is probably going to be my max, because I do want to not propagate as much, and I may start listing some like cuttings. I've started adding a little bit of cuttings onto the site, like Hoya cuttings, and I'm gonna start listing some corms. Not variegated corms, because I feel like, at least I don't feel like I want to. I would rather grow them out, but it takes so long to grow them out as like a small plant. Let me show you. So for example, I'll take these two Alocasia for example. So these here I have grown out from a tiny corm into like a decent sized plant. Like my Alocasia are normally like this size. They're like, I don't know what size you call this. I mean, technically they're mother plants because look at all the corms this guy is shooting off. This is a silver dragon Alocasia. I don't know if these sold. I'll have to check. I'm not sure if anyone bought these. My silver dragon, I decided to downsize. I think I'm gonna downsize my regular, this is Maharani. I haven't decided. I'm really into the variegated Alocasia. And for example, like this one here, this might be my last one of the regular silver dragon. I think it is. Yeah, I don't see any more. I see some more Maharani, but I think this is the last regular dragon scale or silver dragon. And so I grew this from a corm, and from corm to sprout, I don't know how long this took. I mean, probably like 4 or 5 months this plant has been growing. And then I think I listed it for like $26 or $28, which is still for like a basic Alocasia. I get that it's on the pricier side. But when I And pricing it, I'm thinking about, it took me so long to grow this. I put so much care each week into getting it to be like a plant this size. So I'm like, I could probably just list a corm for less than $10 and save myself 5 months of growing the plant out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, some of these common alocasia, I just don't think it's worth it to me to keep growing them out to be this size, especially when they sit on my site and they don't sell. That tells me like, okay, people probably aren't into these as much anymore. At least that's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm like, that's useful information to me. If I feel like nobody is really jumping on these guys, then like, what's the point in really growing them out? Do you know what I mean? This one here is a silver dragon. This one did sell. I did see someone buy this one. It's the variegated one. It is smaller than what I normally like to list these guys at, but I grew this from a node and I've already been growing this for so many months already. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and list it before it gets too big, because sometimes that happens where I'll list stuff and they get too big. Like I have a philodendron gigas that I literally grew from a node. It's gotten a little bit tall now. I have a couple of these where they're just like getting too tall. A lot of my philodendron, they climb so fast that I'm like, they're getting to be a big plant to really ship, and it takes so much grow out time to get them to be like decent sized plants. And I'm like, I'm kind of rethinking about some of the plants that I'm selling, and that's why I want to do like a good downsize and only keep plants that I love at propagating and growing and that ultimately sell well for me. I love growing out Hoya as well. I feel like Hoya grow pretty fast for me from a cutting, but I don't want to spend so much time growing out so many Hoya when I can just list them as cuttings or like lightly rooted cuttings. I feel like for me, I don't like to sell Hoya as like cuttings like that are unrooted or they don't have a growth point, because I really like growing them out to make sure somebody's getting like a fuller plant. Like this here is a Lacinosa. I think I did 3 cuttings in here, and this one has taken a while to get to like a little starter size. Same with this variegated one. I started with a couple cuttings, 1 node cuttings, and it's taken a bit to get them to this size. So I'm like, how can I make this more efficient for me, where I feel like the plant care in here isn't taking as much time as it is? Because that's the thing, like I have 5 shelves in here with plants and I have to water them 3 times a week. And lately I just feel like I'm just overwhelmed with that, because I can't keep some of these plants in here watered because I have so many props going at once, and also maintaining like my other plant collection and everything else. I'm like, maybe I should just cut the amount of plants that I'm propagating, or maybe I'll just grow some out to be plants and then list some as corms or cuttings. Maybe it'll make propagating a little bit easier. I think a lot of the plants in here sold. I just have them in the bin so that they wouldn't dry out as quickly. They've already been acclimated to normal conditions. I had this random Monstera Peru variegated cutting that I would normally go ahead and get planted, wait for like a few leaves and then sell it. But I'm like, I could just list it for like, I think I did $10 for this, because it's pretty much turning into a plant. It already has a growth point. It's rooted in here. It hasn't been potted in here for too long, so the moss won't like stick to it. And I'm like, why don't I just sell it for like an inexpensive price? And that way I could just move it out of here a lot faster instead of waiting. Like I could have sat on this for like 3 more months, and what if I underwatered it and I end up not selling it? Then it's like all that time and care was essentially wasted. Not wasted, but like, do you know what I mean? I just put so much time and effort into caring for all these plants every week that I just need to consolidate the amount of plants that I have in here growing at a certain time. So like with the Hoyas, I just put these in moss and perlite last week. This was a cutting of the variegated Caudata, and it did have roots. I had it in stratum and perlite, and then it does have its growth point right there coming in. So it's pretty much, you know, going to turn into like a bigger plant. I did part of the work of rooting it and waiting for it to have a growth point. So instead of sitting on this for maybe another month or 2 for it to get more full, I can just sell them for cheaper and move them out quicker. So I did a few like different Hoyas. I did the gray fairy as well. I sold those and they all had roots and a growth point. Like here's another one, another Caudata that has a growth point. I don't know if these all sold. I think one of these sold. I don't know if the other ones have sold yet. I haven't even checked my orders. I haven't checked to see who bought what and what all sold. So I'll have to look at that here and get organized. I'll check the weather and kind of get organized. I'll pack the substrates first, and then usually on Sunday evenings, I'll pack the plants that I feel like don't mind being in a box a little bit longer. So if it's like a variegated Alocasia, like I listed and sold a few of these this week. This is one of my pink Nebulluses. She's really pink, that leaf. I don't think the camera is doing it. I'll pack these. Oh, it's working on a new leaf, getting ready to. I'll pack this one tomorrow just because variegated plants sometimes are a little bit more delicate, and I would like for them not to sit in a box an extra day if they don't have to, or an extra evening. So begonias, alocasias, I will pack on Mondays. And then sometimes philodendron, monstera. It depends. If it's like a highly variegated monstera, then I'll wait and pack it on Monday. Oh, the new leaf is coming out. I don't know if anyone bought this begonia. I'll have to check. That new leaf is coming in. And then there's another growth point coming in here. I did see that this one sold. So I have not shipped one of these begonia limoons, so I'm very nervous about this. I'm gonna pack the begonias tomorrow. It's acclimated to room conditions in here, but like I'm nervous shipping this because I know I received mine. It had 3 leaves. The leaves were a lot smaller, but they all fell off when I opened my plant mail. So it was just the stem. It was still firm and everything, and it wasn't mushy, but it grew back really fast, even though it dropped all of its leaves. I feel like these guys just don't like shipping. So I'm gonna be really nervous to ship this one this week. Yeah, so a lot of these I'm gonna wait. I can pack these up. I'll have to see how many of these ones sold. I know one did, so I can pack that one tonight. Like kind of quick, easy orders. I usually pack Sunday night. It depends on how many plants sell. So with the way that I'm doing the restocks now too, not all the plants sell every week, and so I'm adjusting to that, because if there's already like 20 so plants, then I'll pick like another 20 or so. I think the goal is to not have any more than like 50 plants on my site at one time. I have so many of these philodendron red Anderson. They're getting like really big, and I don't think these have sold now for 2 weeks in a row. And I literally probably have like 15 or 20 of these plants, and they have really good variegation. I guess does nobody like these anymore, like growing these? I feel like they're not as popular as the pink princess, but the pink on these guys are so pretty. They're like a lighter pink. So that information is useful for me, because I feel like if nobody's buying these, I don't feel like I overpriced them. I think I listed them. I'll have to check on my price. Maybe I did. Maybe they're just a little too expensive. So maybe I'll cut the amount and see if anyone buys them. I'll do that. I don't want to sit on them for too long though, so I'll try lowering the price and see if they go. But I have so many of these. Like I said, I have like 15 from when I chopped my plant. Like all the nodes sprouted at the same time. And I think the plants that don't move for me, like the plants that aren't selling, that's information to me that I will probably end up downsizing those plants. Especially if it's one that I don't really care to have or to grow anymore, that I only want to propagate plants that, one, I enjoy and I don't mind caring for, and you know, that they do well for me. If it's a plant that nobody wants and it's just going to sit on my shelf, and even the mother plant, I feel like it's just taking up real estate where I can put that time and energy into plants that I love growing and caring for. But I feel like if it's a plant that nobody really is buying, then I'm like, I don't really want to hang on to it. I went through a phase where I got a lot of new Hoya. I was interested in collecting more. I felt like people really like Hoya and buying Hoya. And after collecting, I think I had like 70 or 80. I'm like, okay, my Hoya cabinets are full. They're growing. I can't prop them fast enough and grow them out into decent plants, because by the time I do that, my Hoyas grow back very quickly again. And I don't know, I just want to downsize my Hoya to a more manageable size, maybe like 50, and only keep my favorites that I love propping and growing. Like I love propagating, like this one here, my Hoya nabawaniensis. I love this Hoya. So this could be one that I'm always like propagating. I love propagating all the polyneuras. I do want to downsize a couple polyneuras. because I have like 7 different varieties. I definitely don't need that many. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through my collection, not just Hoya and just everything philodendron, Anthurium. I just want to go through and figure out what I actually want to keep and grow and maintain and propagate from. I was telling myself the other day, like I can't be one of these shops that just has all this inventory all the time and all this different variety, because I can't maintain it, because I don't get them imported. I don't turn around and sell them. I actually buy cuttings or buy plants to maintain as mother plants, and then I chop them and grow plants from those plants. And it takes a lot of time. Like for this guy to have gotten to this size takes so much time and energy and effort. And I'm like, I have to think about all that stuff when I'm selling. So yeah, I have a lot of work to do with my collection. I want to go through and really like consolidate. And I feel like my niche is going to be Alocasia, because I'm just obsessed with them. Yeah, I just really love caring for them and growing them out. It's my favorite. I love seeing an Alocasia become an Alocasia pup, if that makes sense. I like showing you guys my jungle mints. They're starting to grow. I'm waiting for like 2 leaves. Look at the leaves on them. You see them all sprouting? I think there's one in here that's getting ready to push. Yeah, this one's pushing a 2nd leaf. But ideally, I would like these to grow 2 leaves before I list them. I feel like I would rather wait for that. Some of them are still like nodes. They're just barely sprouting. But a lot of them have gotten their first little leaves. So they're growing. Here's an update on some pally sprouts while I'm in here showing you guys some stuff. They're getting a little bit bigger. I feel like sometimes seedlings stall at this stage where you're sitting on them for months and they don't really grow or do anything. And you're like, okay, it's a little bit bigger. The next leaf is a little bit bigger. So I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like these guys are just taking a really long time to start growing. Someone had asked if I had planned on shipping them this month or next month again, and I'll have to see, because a lot of them are just still like really, really tiny and they're still under really high humidity. I would like for them to get a little bit bigger before I start shipping them again. They're just taking their sweet time. So I'll see how they're looking like next month. And here's just a quick overview. So these 2 shelves are the current restock plants, and then everything else is just currently propagating. Like I said, I feel like I have way too many props still going in here. I had thinned out my Hoya quite a bit, but I actually went through and propagated an entire bin down there. I didn't make individual plants yet because I just wasn't in the right frame to do that. I just have them all like in stratum and perlite cups, because I might sell some as cuttings. I have so many begonia that are just growing out of hand. I have a lot of monstera. I feel like an overwhelming amount of plants in here still. I have like 2 containers there of monstera nodes that are sprouting a couple leaves. I'm just waiting for them to get a bit bigger. Yeah, and this whole shelf over here is Alocasia. I have all these bins to go through of plants. Some of them are just like really overgrown in there. I just need to go through. I'm gonna spend some time in here next week and really like go through the bins, call anything that's not growing well, get reorganized. I would love ideally to make Alocasia 2 shelves, and then I could do 1 shelf of Hoya and 1 shelf of like others. But yeah, I need more Alocasia space. And then I need to go through and like figure out my mother plants, some of these mother plants, which ones I actually want to keep and which ones I don't want to keep. I have some common Alocasia and stuff in there. Yeah, and then I have an insane, like this is all Alocasia, all this entire shelf. And then I have so many corms growing in the other room. I have a couple mothers up there, and oh, I do have a couple monstera. Oh, those were ones that I was going to list next, because they've gotten like 2 to 3 leaves, and I feel like they've grown a bit. So I'll probably list those soon. And then I had potted some Alocasia recently in those 3 bins, so they're working on growing. I have a corn tray that's exploding down there. I need to get those potted. So that is the update in here. I still would like to paint, I think, in here, but if I do paint, it's not going to be until the fall, because I cannot paint in this hot room until it cools down. I haven't decided. I kind of want to bring the blue in here, but I'm not set on it yet. I do have all the leftover paint. Like I have enough to paint at least 2 coats that I could do it, but I don't know if I want to do it. And then I'll probably rearrange a little bit in here too and kind of organize some stuff. But yeah, I need to have less props going. I'm comfortable with like 30 plants at most a week listing, depending on how things sell and move. And I'm gonna work on downsizing and growing plants that I truly love propagating and growing. And yeah, you'll have to tell me your thoughts about how you're liking the restock schedule. I know I'm not sending an email out anymore. It's kind of like you just have to pop on and check if there's any new plants on there. I would say I'm mostly listing plants anywhere from like Wednesday to Friday. That would be the time to check. Because by the time I pack Monday, Tuesday I usually go through inventory. And sometimes I'll get plants ready and listed Wednesday. Sometimes it's Thursday. Sometimes if I have a lot going on at the beginning of the week, maybe I feel like filming instead of doing shop work, then it may get pushed to Friday. But I feel like the last 2 weeks I posted on Wednesdays, like some new plants, which kind of frees up the later part of the week to focus on plant care and watering and YouTube and stuff. Time to get the substrates packed. I haven't turned my light on in forever. I'm going to turn it on. Let's see, let's make it a little bit brighter. I actually just got a new substrate order, so thank you. I have 5 substrate orders, some shop mix, aeroid mix, and pon. I think next time when I go to get the bags, since I pre-bought labels in bulk, this one is pon. They all look similar, so pon versus like aeroid mix. It's hard to like tell them apart unless I'm like looking at the label. So I'm like, maybe I should get different colored bags next time so that I know which one's which by like looking at it versus like, okay, let me make sure I didn't actually give somebody aeroid mix that wanted the shop mix and vice versa. I need to double check though that what I have is, or what I pulled is correct. So, oh, pon is so heavy now because it's more weight. Shop mix 1, 2, and then we have aeroid 2 and 2. Okay. All right. I need to order boxes soon because I'm getting pretty low on a lot of sizes.
Hi. Hi, Looney. What you doing? Huh?
I'm gonna get the shipping labels, oh there she goes, printed on the substrate orders really quick. And then I feel like I'm just not in the packing mood tonight. I would like to get some of these plant orders packed. I might pack a couple. I have like a single Hoya. I have like a few of those. So I might pack a couple of those. What are you doing? Because I honestly just want to like shower and get in bed. Yeah, I have quite a bit of plants to kind of pack up. So I will be back on probably in the morning. Good morning. I'm really putting myself out here, coming on camera like this. I literally just got out of bed like 30 minutes ago. I'm still in my PJs. I'm going to get dressed here in a little bit. I only had one next day air shipment, so I just finished packing this because I'm going to go drop this off really quick and come back and finish packing the rest. I'm probably going to be packing until like 3 or so today. Hopefully I can get through everything. I think I can. I didn't end up packing any plants last night. I was just so tired. So UPS lately with next day air packages, I've noticed there's been delays. And so they don't go out until like Tuesday night. And then the customers aren't getting them until Wednesday. It doesn't happen every week, but I have noticed a trend of it happening lately. And I'm getting frustrated because next day air labels are not cheap. And you know, you're paying for that service. They're supposed to guarantee that service. And when it doesn't happen, it can be frustrating. I understand like operational delays and stuff like that comes up. Things happen, weather, routing issues. So I'm actually going to drop this off at a CVS down the road from the UPS store because I checked their times and they have a noon air pickup. Whereas my store location pickup is supposed to be 4:30 to 5:30. That's the latest you can drop off is 4:30. But I think what's happening is they're picking it up kind of towards the end of the day. They only have one pickup. I feel like in order for them to make it back to the sorting facility, distribution center, and make it onto the flight that night, I feel like it's missing that deadline. And in the tracking, it says was handed off past the cutoff time, which makes it look like that I missed the cutoff time and I didn't. I could look into what it would be to get like a scheduled UPS pickup every week. I don't know how much that would cost, but then again, I'm relying on them getting here in time, and I worry that they wouldn't pick up because I did that when I used to ship with USPS. I did that for like a month, and I'm like, no, because the USPS store is a lot further away from me in traffic. It's like the opposite way. And when I tried to schedule a pickup with them, they never showed up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. So I'm going to try the CVS store and see how that goes with this package. I feel bad. She's ordered for me so many times and I want her to get her plant mail in time. You know, she paid for next day shipping. And I buy my labels, like for those of you that ship plant orders, if you are watching, if you didn't know, Pirate Ship, that's where I get my labels through. You know, you get a discounted price, but shipping is still very expensive unless you were to negotiate shipping through UPS directly, which I might look into see how much that would cost. Because when I look at it online, it's insane, the price difference for next day air labels through UPS directly. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. And we're talking about like double of what we're already paying. So I don't know if I can try to negotiate prices since I am a business, but I don't know. If they keep delaying my packages, then I might have to do something else. But I'm going to give this a go and see if the CVS is more reliable, because if it gets picked up sooner, then it'll make it downtown sooner and to the airport and on the flight sooner. It's crazy because before I used to sell plants, I understood tracking and labels and I understood some of that, but you really don't think about all the chain of events that has to happen in order for the package to make it on a flight to go even across the United States. It's crazy to think about. If you think about it, like I ordered a package from California last week, those Alocasias, and they literally dropped it off that afternoon. It made it on the flight that night and it flew all the way to Savannah, Georgia and got delivered at 11 a.m. Like that's pretty crazy if you think about it, and all the steps that had to happen in order for that to make it all the way to me. I look absolutely crazy. I had trouble sleeping last night, so I'm running on some fumes. I already made some coffee. So yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'm going to drop this off. I think they open at 8. I'm going to go ahead and head there real quick in my PJs and come back and start packing. I'm going to shower and start packing the rest. And then, oh yeah, I completely missed my train of thought. What I was saying, if you are a seller, if you buy labels through Pirate Ship, that's what I was going to get at. And then I went off on a tangent. They actually don't, like, plants is an item that they're like restricted. They can't, like, I forget what it, if you look in their like rules, whatever, plants is like something that they don't recommend shipping through them. And they can't guarantee labels, and you can even get your account suspended. So just like an FYI, they're not saying you can't ship plants through them, but it is on their like not recommended type thing. And just because you buy next day air labels through them doesn't mean they're going to refund you because of an issue with UPS, just so you're aware. Yeah, shipping plants sometimes can be a bit of a headache, like with the logistic side of things and shipping and relying on a shipping carrier. And oh, lights are coming on, and if they're not reliable, it can be such a headache. But anyway, I will check in a bit later and pop on and kind of update you. I'm back. I am popping on. It is almost 1 o'clock, 12:41, 2:41. I have like a good 2.5 hours, and that's kind of pushing it to get the rest of these packed. I have 4 more orders left to pack, although I think somebody just placed an order, which is technically after my noon cutoff. I'll have to see what they ordered. If I can squeeze it in, I'll go ahead and ship it, but I'm just going to focus on the orders that I currently have since it's technically past my cutoff. So noon Mondays is my deadline for same week shipping. So anything ordered after Monday at noon goes out the following Monday, just because I've already like processed everything and checked weather and all that. So adding on new orders kind of delays the rest of them getting finished up, if that makes sense. So let me show you the 4 orders that I have to pack. Somebody ordered this last night. I don't recognize this individual. It's one of my Monstera albos. This one has been on my site for a few weeks. There's polyfill flying everywhere. And I was gonna keep it because it's doing like every other leaf with variegation. And the stem looks like, I think this is one of my half moon albos that was doing that pattern. And the stem is like very variegated. So that next leaf I think is gonna have some nice color. So I gotta pack him. Monsteras usually take me a little bit to pack. He's a decent size. I grew this from a node. He's so cute. I really like this one. Next is, this order is going to Cheryl in Minnesota. Thank you so much. You ordered the Lamoon. Look how beautiful she is. I really hope this ships okay to you. I'm a little anxious. So this one might take me a little bit of extra time to pack because begonias I usually save till last because they're so finicky. She's so, so pretty, and she's got blooms. Look at all the pretty flowers. I got some here and then there. And then I think there's, yeah, I think you'll get like a new leaf out of this bottom, a new vine coming down here. And then she also ordered the Caudata Argene. This one is the pretty silver. And then it has its growth point right there. So, so pretty. So that is her order. I'm excited to pack this one. This one is going to Alyssa in Georgia, so you're not too far from me. She ordered the Regal Shields Albo. It's so pretty. That's the newest leaf, and it has so much purple. Look at all those beautiful tones. I'm a sucker for that light green veining too. On the ones that are more minty, they have that beautiful veining. It is so, so pretty. I'm obsessed. That's all that she got. And then my last order is going to Veronica. She's ordered for me several times. Thank you, Veronica, for another order. Hers was actually an order from last week, and I was holding it because she ordered the Anthurium, and the new leaf had like just emerged, and I was worried that while it was expanding in transit, it would get damaged. It's still not quite hardened off, but I'm gonna pack it very, very well. It's so dark and pretty. This is the PAP GY crossed with an NSE Carla Blackier. It's a offshoot from one of my plants. So I'm going to pack him very carefully. And then she had ordered last week the bigger Regal Shields Albo. This one is full mint. It's so crazy sometimes the genetics on these albos. Like this one came in all minty and it has like hints of purple. The new leaf is like a darker mint tea there in the middle. So I'm going to send her, I'm going to take some update photos of this one and this one just to send to her. And then she also added on a Hoya. This is Hoya discipulate. It has the egg beater blooms. There's two growth points. So I'm going to ship this together with her previous order and combine shipping for those. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants to pack in about a couple hours. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pack these. I'm so anxious about that order I dropped off at CVS. I think that poor kid in there was like thinking I was some crazy person. I went in there and I was like, hi. I'm like, what time does UPS come to pick up? And he just gave me the weirdest look. I could just see like the reaction on his face. He was just like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. He probably just got to work and he's like, I'm just selling CVS products. Why is this person asking me about UPS? But he confirmed they usually come like 12:30, 1:30 or so time frame to pick up. So I'm going to check the tracking here in a little bit to see if they picked it up because it's not scanned yet. So there's no like update on tracking. So as soon as it's picked up, I'll feel relieved. But I really hope it goes out tonight and doesn't get delayed because I'll start dropping them off at at CVS for next day air. My local UPS store, like they're really nice. I do love them, but it's frustrating when I can't rely on my packages going out on time. It's not the store's fault, obviously. It's just somehow the truck, it could be traffic, operational stuff, who knows, by the time they actually get to the store that I use and make it downtown, like I was saying, and the sorting center, distribution center, and make it on the plane that night, I think it's just cutting the deadline. So yeah, I'm gonna be like anxiously awaiting to see what happens with that tracking. I'm just gonna clean these leaves real quick. I watered everyone yesterday on Saturday. I usually try and water everybody Saturday. That way when packing comes on Monday, like everyone is like, has had a drink, but they're not like soaking wet. But sometimes in here, like plants dry within 2 days. So sometimes I have to give them like a little bit extra because if not, like some of these plants won't be arriving till like Thursday. And that's just like a long time with soil that's getting dry. I'll let him kind of air dry. It was a crazy morning too. I just like, what is this? So apparently I had, I'm cleaning the leaves while I'm telling you guys this story. So apparently like sometime during the night last night, I think I fell asleep after midnight and my husband came home at like 10 p.m. because he was out of town and he was tired and I was tired. I'm like, I have to get up early. So I like tried to sleep and then I couldn't. So I got on my phone and it's like after midnight, I think I finally like got to sleep. And at some point in the middle of the night, I just like apparently just started screaming. I guess I was having a nightmare. I have no idea what it was about. And I don't really do that, so that was weird. He's like, it scared him. And apparently it scared the cats because they usually sleep on the bed with us too. I didn't know what was going on. I think it woke me up because I do remember that, but I was half asleep, so I don't remember. Oh, she's so pretty. I have another minty one that's about the same size that I'm keeping because I just think the mint is so pretty like that, like the full mint. I'm not going to clean that new leaf because it's still very sensitive. I'm just going to wipe off this other one. So that happened. I got up, I had my alarm set for 6 and then I snoozed till like 6:20. And then by the time I actually got out of bed and got the cats together and the cat stuff, and actually made it in here. It was like 7:30. And then I packed that order really quick. Or 7:15. It might have been 7:15. One of the cats decides to throw up on the carpet. So I'm like trying to get that cleaned up before I head out. And then, like I said, that whole CVS thing, I was looking like a hot mess. Like my hair, you guys saw I had like clipped my hair up because I literally just woke up. I left in my PJs. I forgot I had a pimple patch still on. I was like, that poor worker probably thought I was crazy. So then I'm like on my way back, you know, and then there's all these geese that came from nowhere that are like literally in the middle of the road and they wouldn't move. So it's like 10 minutes later, watching a line of geese one by one cross the road. It took like 10 minutes. So I was like, oh. And then I get back to pull into where we live, and then there's like construction people blocking the entrance, and that took some time because somebody was trying to reverse. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, I just want to get home. I got all these orders to pack. See, it was a crazy morning for sure. I'm not going to clean these leaves either because this begonia is a bit sensitive. It's doing well in ambient. I was pretty nervous, but it seems to be tolerating the ambient in here. Right now it's 47% humidity. I do have more of these. I have 3 more growing. I might list another one soon. I'll have to see how it's looking. I'm going to spend, so usually Monday, once I get the orders dropped off, I usually will come back, clean up in here, and by that time I'm usually pretty tired, or if I have videos footage to edit, I'll like sit down and edit for a little bit. Sometimes I will kind of come through the bin or go through the bins, pick some plants, and then kind of tidy up a bit. But I have a feeling I won't feel like doing that tonight. So all day tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll probably be in here going through bins, organizing, picking plants, and then I'll also have to, you know, get the photos done, do the listings, and get them posted sometime between Wednesday and Friday. And then, you know, the later part of the week, I have all the watering to do, other filming and stuff to focus on. So I'll go through them at some point. If the other one is ready, then I'll list it for this coming week. I am so tired. I've already had so much coffee. Oh, I've only had 3 shots of espresso. I could technically get a 4th one. That was really weird. I'm like, I have to print labels. I need internet. Luna is just down here needling her polyfill bag. Let me get a video of her. She's so cute. That's what she does all day in here while I'm packing. That's her own little bag, so she tries to get into the other ones because she likes the full ones, but I hide them from her. I just hear her kneading it the whole time. I was taking a sip of this and I like felt something weird. I wonder if like some polyfill got up in here. Did I just swallow some polyfill? Like, ew. I hope not. 2:14. I have to print the labels on the last bit of orders, and then I need to see what that last order was. I think our internet's back up and running. Oh, before I do this, I'm gonna check to see if this tracking updated. Let's see, the one that I dropped off at CVS. Let me see if they picked it up yet. Oh, they came early, 10:47 a.m. Okay, good to know. So I'll have to drop next day air packages off really early when they open at 8 a.m. As long as it gets to her on time tomorrow. It's saying tomorrow by noon. Crossing my fingers. I'm just so happy they picked it up already. I'm so excited. Oh, okay. I do have a couple emails to send. I got to update this person with photos, and then I got to reply to a couple other people that emailed me. But I'm going to get these printed. Let's see. 12, 10, and 8. And this weighs 2 pounds and 2 ounces, which they'll round it up to 3 pounds. Okay, and then I gotta refund her shipping on her second order and email her photos. Okay. I'm gonna email her really quick. I don't think all these photos are gonna fit. I'm gonna try, let's see. Oh, it's gonna let me attach all of them. Ugh. Someone had asked me how I know, or like which order is which once I pack them. And it's because I write the order number and the weight on the box. So that's like order number and then how much it weighs. So I just look at I print out the labels, you know, with the orders and everything. And then I add that like in the box and close it up. The order slip, and then from the order slip I just take the order number and write it on here so that way I know which one's which. I didn't recognize this person's name, so this person has not ordered from me. The person that ordered the Lamoon and the Hoya, at least I don't think. I don't know. Hopefully this gets to her okay. 12, 10, 6. This is 2 pounds. I normally like to be finished by 2:30. It's 2:31 right now. I like to be done and have everything dropped off by like 3. Even though the truck doesn't come until 4:30 at the earliest, I still just like to get them there in time. What you laughing at? What you laughing at? All the St. Bernards? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'll ask this for one.
Are you sure you don't mind taking them for me?
Yes, I'm sure, but there won't be on anything but I'll put one in.
He's so funny. He said not to put him on camera, but I just might leave that in. All right. yeah, so 2:51 just finished up, so we are going to head to the UPS store, drop these off, and then it is a hot mess in here. I have stuff everywhere with the fan blowing and stuff too. Polyfill gets all under the shelves, so I have to like take my vacuum and clean and everything. It drives me crazy. And yeah, I think I'll come back home, clean, and I might just call it for the night. I'm kind of tired, and I might get a walk in on my walking pad since it's so hot outside. And then, yeah, I'll be in here in the next couple of days working. But thank you so much for all of your support and your orders. I appreciate you guys. Again, let me know your thoughts on the restock process. Are you wanting me to send an email notification out when they're on there, or are you enjoying just coming onto the site and seeing some plants on there, not like feeling like you have to check out immediately? Let me know what you're thinking about that, and I'll be working on adding more plants again soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.